Oh Lord, pull up in that '04, pedal to the metal, says she wanna hit the flow more.
Yeah, the Atlanta Falcons have new management, okay? And one of the first things these guys did was to go out during free agency and sign a couple of safeties. Then during the NFL draft, they went out and got a couple of defensive linemen and some guys in the secondary. But you know what? Instead of proving otherwise, the Atlanta Falcons defense is brutal. You know, that's either 1A, 1B, or 1C as to why the Atlanta Falcons have had 3 consecutive losing seasons. The defense. And by the way, you folks, listen real closely. Listen to me. Are you listening? Stop blaming 28-3 on Kyle Shanahan and also Matt Ryan. They did not give up a 25-point lead starting in the third quarter. That was a defense. And speaking of 28-3, because of 28-3, it makes people forget about 17-0. That is the lead the Atlanta Falcons had in the NFC Championship game back in 2013, right here in Atlanta, Georgia, against the San Francisco 49ers. And that ended up being the biggest blown lead up to that point ever in the history of an NFC or AFC championship game. So, essentially, what the Atlanta Falcons are saying, by spending the 2021 draft, the 4th pick overall, taking a tight end Kyle Pitts over a potential franchise quarterback in Justin Fields, who's from Kennesaw, Georgia, up the road here, by the way. Essentially, what the Falcons are saying is that they believe that their offense is just going to be so powerful, there's not going to make any difference about that defense. I think they got Kyle Pitts. I mean, when Kyle Pitts finishes walking on water this week, he's going to join the rest of the rookies on his way to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and sitting on the right hand of you-know-who and becoming the greatest tight end of all time, maybe the greatest NFL player ever. That Kyle Pitts. And then throwing to him, they got Matt Ryan. I mean, Matt Ryan won an NFL Most Valuable Player Award. Granted, it was 5 years ago. But anyway, he won it. And he turns 36 next week. But who cares? You know, that offensive line, we still don't know about that. So 36-year-old Matt Ryan behind that offensive line, not a pretty sight. But anyway, Julio? I mean, if they don't trade Julio, and by the way, they're trying to trade Julio, at least they're talking about entertaining offers. But let's say if Julio stays, this is the same Julio who was injury prone last year and was slipping quite a bit. But they got Julio. Oh, and Calvin Ridley. Everybody talking about how great Calvin Ridley is. But Calvin Ridley has never made it to a Pro Bowl. He should have made it last year. But the point of the matter is, Calvin Ridley has never made it to a Pro Bowl. And then they got a guy, holdover like Hayden Hurst. He was a tight end last year. And they used to talk all the time about Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst this, Hayden Hurst that. They love Hayden Hurst, the tight end, so much that they went out and got another tight end. Kyle Pitts, the guy that can do all these extraordinary things. And, you know. And the running game, we don't know about that. But anyway, that's what they're saying. And you know, and I think back to 1980. Back in 1980, I covered the Oakland Raiders, the real Oakland Raiders, right? And they were overlooked because everybody in that division, the AFC West back then, they were looking at this team in San Diego. Air Coryell. Ooh. You know, Dan Fouts, I mean, this quarterback, otherworldly quarterback, and he had all these great receivers out there, Charlie Joyner, and Kellen Winslow. He was the first guy at tight end who could walk on water and said, who you know, his right hand, and that Kellen Winslow at tight end, that Chuck Muncie, great running game, and all this. They had all this stuff, okay? Well, they met the Raiders in the AFC Championship game back then in 1980 and didn't win. Air Coryell didn't win. The Raiders won. The Raiders won the Super Bowl, by the way. All right, right. And let's go to 1984. 1984. At least if you listen to the people in South Florida, there was a team that was even more prolific offensively than Air Coryell. The Dan Marino Dolphins. Yeah, and he had the Marx Brothers. Yeah, and here's Dan Marino doing stuff that nobody's ever seen before. Passing for 5,000 yards and throwing a record 48 touchdowns. Yeah, and they never won a Super Bowl. Never. Yeah, and then we come to 1998. 1998, the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, that was a scary team. Remember? Randall Cunningham, and they had Chris Carter and some guy named Randy Moss. Yeah, they had, and Robert Smith was a decent running game. I mean, they had all that stuff. They could score that. This great place kicker, the greatest in the history of the NFL. All that stuff. And they lost to the Atlanta Falcons in the NFC Championship game in Minnesota. So much for greatness. And the thing is, about all those teams, their defenses, they range between mediocre and bad. Atlanta Falcons bad. Like right now, bad. Okay? I'm just saying. And I know what you're saying out there. I hear somebody. I hear you. You're saying that, well, what about the 1999 St. Louis Rams? Yeah, the greatest show on turf. Remember them? Yeah, I remember them. They're pretty good. Yeah, Kurt Warner. They had Marshall Faulk as a running back, and those great wide receivers, and Terry Holt and Isaac Bruce. Yeah. And I hear what else you're saying. Oh, well, they won a Super Bowl that year. Yeah, they did. And you know what else? They also had a top 6 defense. And guess what? I don't think the Atlanta Falcons are going to have a top 6 defense.
This is my falsetto, wicked potion with the slow pour. This is my addiction, make me wanna go for more. Pale